Good afternoon, and thanks for doing this. We have a first question from Herb Zurkowski, the Gazette.
Thanks, Pat, and hey, Louis. Thanks
Hi.
for your time as always. Look, we knew you had mentioned that this was a possibility, a strong possibility. You said all along that playing another season in MLS wasn't the worst thing.
Yeah.
Now that this is fait accompli and concluded, just wanted to get your thoughts on the matter.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to be coming back. Hopefully next season I'll be able to get a few more games, and that's why I decided, and the clubs decided, that it was best for me to come back here to develop and learn, keep playing games. And I think the only way that I can learn is by playing games, and playing games against good opposition. And I think it's a good move for me to come back.
Doug Gallivan, CBC.
Hi, Louis. Thanks for taking our questions today. I know it's been a really strange rookie professional season for you. So I'd just like to know, what did you learn that maybe wouldn't have been possible in a normal rookie season this year? And on the flip side of that, what might you have missed out on this year because of the unique circumstances?
Yeah, I think, like you say, the year hasn't been easy for anyone, especially coming away, living on my own. I think I've learned a lot just by off the pitch as well, by, like I say, living alone, being alone. And I didn't expect to be away from my family, friends for this long. So it's not been easy, but on the pitch I've learned a lot as well, good and bad, mistakes, and what I can learn from. And yeah, it hasn't been easy, but I come to this league. When I signed in January, I was looking forward to playing in front of crowds, playing at different stadiums, and obviously that hasn't materialised. So that's what I'm most gutted about, not being able to play in front of a lot of fans. Maybe there would have been more games, whether it be in the Canadian Championship, the MLS Cup, even the MLS regular season. So yeah, I'm disappointed that there hasn't been as many games as there probably would have been, and yeah, I'm disappointed not playing in front of fans.
Jérémy Filozan, 98.5.
Oui, merci, Pat. Thanks, Louis, and we're happy to have you back for next year. Louis, I was there in Florida, in Tampa, when you first came and you played your first preseason game. And you looked so convincing from day one. And the coaches obviously appreciated you a lot. You were the defender that was most used this year. Most minutes played, over 1,700. When you look back at the season that's been, how proud are you of what you've been able to accomplish, and especially establish yourself at such a young age in this group? Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think when I come in, like you say, in January, I didn't expect to play as many games as I have done. I looked at players like Rod, Rudy, players who have very established and played in Europe. So I knew it was going to be hard, and I knew that I had to work hard. And yeah, I worked hard and got my chance, and then stayed in the team. So I don't think I've properly had time to digest it yet with all the travelling. We're still in the season, so now we're now focusing on the New England game. But I think when I go back home at the end of the year and sit down, I think then I'll look at what I've done well, what I've done bad, and yeah, maybe that's the time when I'll look back and think it's not been a bad year for me, because I didn't expect. If you'd have asked me this time last year, would I be playing senior football, I'd have probably said no. And if you'd have said I'd got whatever 23 games or whatever, I wouldn't have believed you. So for me to have them many games under my belt now is, it's a good feeling for me.
Michel Lamarche, Canadian Press.
Good afternoon, Louis. Thank you for doing this. I just want to know, looking back today to your year, is there anything that surprised you from the MLS that you maybe didn't expect? What did you expect from the MLS? And was there any particular aspects of the league that surprised you?
Yeah, a lot surprised me. I think being from Europe, and the MLS is perceived probably not as well as it should be. But when I come over here and I got put into it, I realised quickly how good the standard is, how up and coming this league is. And I genuinely believe that in the next few years it can be a big league within the world. You see loads of players coming from South America, who are quick, tricky. Then you've got strikers who come from, I don't know, wherever, all over the world, that are very strong and physical. So it's a very diverse league, and like I say, it's been good for me because one week I'll be playing a tall striker, the next week I'll be playing a nippy little striker. So it's a great league for me to come and learn. And yeah, like I said, I didn't realise how good of a league it was.
Another one from the Canadian press, Gemma.
We're on a tag team today. Hi, Louis. I'm wondering if you can talk about, obviously you've still got some games to play this season, but I'm wondering what your off season is going to look like. Are you going to go home and live with family, and what kind of work are you planning on doing in the off season?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go home. I think I need to go back home, like switch off from football a little bit, because it's been, like I say, it's been so intense this year. Every few days there's been a game. There's been no real like get away from football. So yeah, I'll be going home, but I'll have a few weeks at home, and then I'll see what happens. If the league gets delayed or anything like that, I'll try and train at home, maybe go elsewhere and train. But yeah, I think I've got to stay on top of my my training, whether that be we start the training camp here early, whether I go to Bologna for a few weeks, train at home, I don't know. But yeah, I'll have a few weeks with my family and then back to it.
Dave Lévesque, Journal de Montréal.
Hi, Louis. You came here at 19. How much growing up can you make in such a crazy season? You mentioned it earlier, living alone, I think for the first time, away from your country. It has to be a huge growing experience in a short amount of time. Yeah,
I probably didn't realise how much growing up I'd have to do, because I thought, when I first came here, I thought, oh, my mum and dad would be coming out every month, family, girlfriend, whatever. But yeah, like that hasn't happened. So I've had to grow up, learn to do all the little things like cook, wash. So even I've learned a lot on the pitch, but I say I've learned just as much off it. And yeah, it's a good thing for me I think in the long run, this will definitely help me.
Nilton, KNFC. Hold on, Nilton. There you go.
Here you go. You're listening?
Hi. Yeah, I've got you.
Hi, Louis. Do you think that your experience in MLS can produce a new path for young European players looking for an alternative way to earn some regular playing time?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of talent in not just England, but all over Europe, where I don't think they get a chance early enough and they become frustrated. Prime example being me. And I think if the player's willing to make the step across to the MLS, it can only be a good thing for them, because I played with a lot of players at club, country, who have a lot of ability, but they're at massive clubs and they perhaps don't get the chance. So I'd say to them, if there was an offer on the table to come across to the MLS and come and learn their trade over here, why not? Because like I say, it's a great league for young players. And you see this year, not just me, how many young players are getting recognition, whether it be other players from other teams going to European clubs, coming through. There's a lot of youth that have done well this year. So yeah, I definitely advise a lot of youth to come over here.
Nicolas Landry, RDS.
Good afternoon, Louis. As Jeremy said earlier, you really had a great season all around this year. Wondering what was your reaction when you realized you were starting the game on the bench in DC, and did Thierry say anything to you to explain his decision? Thank you.
Yeah, obviously it's not like you said, I was eligible for. So
Louis, it cuts.
You got me?
Yes. That's good.
Yeah, like I was saying, I said it wasn't that I've started every game that I was eligible for this year. So to not start the final sort of, or the must-win game was not nice. But obviously the manager made his choice for whatever reason, and I have to respect that. And I knew that I had to be ready just in case an injury or like I did, I come on in the last 10 minutes or whatever. So yeah, the manager made his choice. He didn't say why, but I respect that, and I just have to learn from that, because it's probably not the last time that it's going to happen in my career.
Sydney Faubourg, CAN FC. Sid? We can hear you. On ne t'entend pas, Sydney. Gavino, IMFC Radio.
Thank you, Pat. Louis, let's talk about the Revolution. Well, you won the first game, and then you came up short in the last 3 games. First of all, do you like the matchup against the Revolution next week? And you know that maybe Victor won't be there, as Sampiet took a red card in the last game. So how do you like the matchup in next week's game? Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's anyone we play, it's not going to be easy, but they know a lot about us. We know a lot about them. And I think, like you say, going into the game, they've won the last 3. So there's a lot of pressure on both sides, but I'd say there's a lot on them, because it's a one-off game. It's all right, they beat us the last 3 times, but now is the game that matters. And if we manage to get through that, it'll be a great confidence boost to us, because they're a good side. And yeah, hopefully we go to Boston, get the win, and yeah, we move on to the next round.
I think that Doug has another one.
Yes, I do. Thanks for taking my second one here. Louis, I'd just like to go back to the win on the weekend. It was, the team's first comeback win of the year. I just want to ask, overall, how did that victory change the feeling in the room or the vibe of this entire season for the club?
Yeah, like you say, it was our first comeback win, and I think it was a great time to do it, but it's something we've got to improve on next year, because there's been times in games where we concede and then we concede straight away after, which is silly really. And I think if we do go 1-0 down, we have a lot more games where we could have come back, got a win, maybe, and perhaps even a draw. But yeah, we can take a lot of confidence out of that game going into the next game. It's always good to go into the next game off the back of a win. So yeah, we go into the next game against New England with a lot of confidence, and I think that win boosted everyone, and it was definitely a win that we needed, not just to make the playoffs, but just for our confidence as well.
Jeremy again.
Yeah, thanks, Pat. Louis, towards the end of the year, I would say the second half of the season, obviously we saw you taking more yellow cards. It seemed to us that there was maybe a little bit of a fatigue there, especially when you guys were playing every 3 days. Was that the case? And if so, what is it that that a player can learn about having to play so many minutes and in such a short period of time? Thanks.
Yeah, maybe it was a bit of fatigue, bit of frustration as well, because I think a few of the yellows were not fouls. They were fouls, but they weren't like cynical fouls. They were just, I don't know, getting into a tangle with. I remember the one at New York City, the one at against Nashville. They come quite late, so yeah, maybe because they come late in the game, fatigue, frustration. I don't know, but that's definitely something I've got to cut down on, because I don't want to keep missing games through suspension, because it's not right and it's not good. So yeah, next year and even in the next few games, hopefully that's something I can put right.
And last one is from Michel Lamarche.
Merci encore, Patrick. Louis, I asked you earlier about any surprises you had coming into the year. Now we're getting into the playoffs. Is that another level? Can you describe what do you expect from intensity level and tactic and everything?
Yeah, I know that we're going to go into the game with the same mindset, same intensity, but other teams, I don't know, you might see other teams sit back now, because like I say, it's a one-off game. It's not a two-legged tie. It's not, you've got 10 league games to go and put things right. It's a one-off game. So we've got to do everything we can to make sure we win that game. And I can imagine other teams will perhaps change their style to maybe they play attacking football. They might sit behind the ball now. They might play on the counter. So there'll be a lot more different different playing styles from teams. And yeah, like you say, the playoffs is definitely something that's new to me, because I'm used to only watching playoffs where you get promoted, or that format, not where we have a chance to go and win the league still, even though we finished 9th. So it's something new to me, but it's very exciting.
Thank you again, Louis, for your time this afternoon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Merci encore tout le monde. Bonne fin de journée. Thank you.